Hello, chat. Hi. Hi. Hello, hi. Hi. Hello, hi. Hi. Oh my god. Ugh. Definitely did not get out of bed 30 minutes ago, because I was like, I should really start setting that stream up, huh? Look, listen, it's been a tiring few weeks, alright? Give me a break. Oh my god. Alright, well, I asked my Discord and Twitter if I should do another Genshin soundtrack review stream today, or if I should instead do a Miliastra dev stream. And what's really funny is how you guys are indecisive as shit. Because on Twitter, it was 75% in favor of a Genshin soundtrack analysis, and in the Discord, it was 75% in favor of a Miliastra dev stream. So it was literally fucking tied. So I was like, fuck it, I'll decide myself. We're doing a Miliastra dev stream today. But you guys are indecisive as shit. And that was really funny. Right, so we're just gonna have some music in the background. So here's what I want to do, chat. The thing I want to make, right? We can build in two different modes. We can build in Beyond mode, which is what the cookie clicker is built in. It is only Monarchines can play, so it's only we can dictate which character skills exist, and that's it. And then there's Classic mode, which supports Teyvat characters. Since the thing I want to build has combat, quite honestly, Beyond mode just does not feel good to play combat in my opinion. It is too unreliable, it's too janky, it doesn't flow nicely enough. Supporting up to 8 players is lovely, but I think for what I want to build, we want to build in Classic mode, because I want to build something that is moderately combat focused. Also, hello Cheshire, welcome in. Hello Cyber, welcome in too. So, here's what I want to do, chat. Some of you, if you are a fan of, like, UGC type games, you may have seen this, a couple of weeks ago. Oh, yep, there it is. There's my sandbox. A couple of weeks ago, somebody used Halo Infinite's Forge mode, which it's basically the same as Miliastra in Genshin. It allows you to use Halo Infinite's assets, and you can basically make your own games, make your own stages with it, and you have, like, ability to support custom code and all that stuff. And somebody used that to basically make a raid. Now, to those who don't know what a raid is, they mostly referenced the Destiny 2, or Destiny generally, experience of a raid, which is 6 players, and you fight your way through some bosses or encounters, and those encounters usually have puzzles in them. Can players make money from this? Yes. There is a revenue sharing system, and popular stages. The way that I think it works, and this is my own personal interpretation of it, we don't know the exact ins and outs from everything. The way I think it works, it seems to be pretty similar to how Spotify pays their artist. All of the money that gets spent or generated by Miliastra gets put into a big pot. Obviously, Hoyoverse takes a cut of that pot. What that cut is, I have no idea. And then whatever's left in there gets redistributed between all stages based on how much they got played. How popular they are, how long they were played for, what their retention was, what their recommendation rate was. and that then gets redistributed between the popular stages. Now, there is a certain threshold that you need to go over. You can't just, like, upload something, have, like, 100 people play it, and then get paid out for it, because that's likely not enough. But once you're above that threshold, yeah, you can get paid for it. I have been paid for the cookie clicker for the Luna 2 update. The payouts for Luna 3 have not been sent out yet. But if you want to join it, go to the Craftspeople Center on Hoyoverse's website. Log in. You do need to ID verify in order to actually get paid, which makes sense. And make something and upload something. Join the Craftspeople Discord as well. They host regular creator camp events in there, which you can submit your stages to, and if they win, you can also get some money from it. I won the top 5 prize in the creator camp in Luna 2 with Cozy Cookie Clicker. But yeah, so they use the Destiny 2 interpretation of a raid, which is you have a team of 6 people, and together with that team, you need to complete a series of mechanics or defeat a boss, and those mechanics usually require some form of teamwork, some form of communication, and some kind of manipulation of the game's sandbox to do something that you haven't really done before without it being, like, out of the question. They are usually decently high skill or high intensity teamwork activities. And I want to do something similar because it hasn't really been done yet. And even if somebody else does do it, the nature of this kind of activity means that if you just build your own mechanics and you build your own encounters, you build your own bosses, like, all of them are going to be equally replayable. If you've played one raid-like activity in this, that doesn't mean you don't want to play any other ones. In fact, if it's built well, you probably want to just play more of them. So I, today, want to start prototyping ideas for mechanics. Now, I have thought about how I generally want to go about it, because here's the problem with Miliastra. Obviously, I would want to build something that is ideally experienced in co-op, right? I want something that's ideally experienced in co-op. The problem with that is if I build something that you kind of need to do co-op for, it's never going to get off the ground popularity-wise, because people just don't want to play activities that have only matchmaking, especially if they're not already popular. Like, the problem with that is if then your stage just starts out, it needs to gain popularity through matchmaking when nobody is really playing it yet. So somebody is going to queue up for it, and no one else is going to go into it because no one else knows the stage exists yet, or not enough people know the stage exists yet, and it's never going to get off the ground. So don't build a multiplayer-only stage. So it needs to be soloable, too. So that brings me then to what I want to bring it closer to, and that's closer to the Destiny 2 interpretation of dungeons. Dungeons are effectively raid-like activities. They, in that game, only require a team of 3, or they can support up to a team of 3, but all of the mechanics are specifically designed in a way that they are hypothetically soloable. Right? It's harder to do it solo, because the combat doesn't get any easier, but it is completable solo. So that's kind of the design philosophy that I want to follow. I want to build something that could be completable solo, but the ideal experience is in a team. And if we, get further along in development, I might even be able to make, like, a separate difficulty. Maybe we make, like, mechanics harder when you're with a team or something like that, or they then actually require teamwork. That's obviously completely possible. We're not restricted by confines of how other other games handle things like this. We can decide how we handle it, right? So, then, what I'm quickly gonna do is, let's open a fucking Miro board, shall we? Give me a moment. Because I want to... there we go. Can I set this to dark mode, please? Is that an option? Because I do not... I'm pretty sure this is an option. Don't worry, you guys will be able to see it in a moment. How does one do that again? Because I know it's possible. Menu, board, background color, there it is. Right. There we go. So, we're gonna work in here first before we start placing shit in the editor. So here's the thing, right? So, in order to make a good raid experience, I can't just start stealing mechanics from other games with raids or dungeons, right? Because that wouldn't work. It would feel janky. What we need to do is figure out what Genshin's core sandbox has that we can manipulate. Because we want it to be... we want these mechanics to be solvable and completable and not necessarily obvious, but, like, sensible to people who've been playing Genshin for a while. That's what we want. So, obviously, at the very core of Genshin's sandbox is the elemental system. That is at the, like, extreme core. The elemental system is, like, the entirety of Genshin is built around this, right? Now, elemental system, the elemental system has a few, like, extra things that come with it. The first thing is, elemental auras. Those are auras that you can apply to enemies or to yourself. And they will then show up on the enemy. And sometimes they even provide it with a certain effect. Then there's reactions, right? Let me just, like, put this here and put that there. There we go. The elemental system has elemental auras and reactions. Those are, like, the two big things that function with it. Now, how do we apply elements? We usually apply elements through applied by. There's a couple different ways. There's character abilities, can apply it to enemies, but there's also enemy attacks, can apply it to players, and sometimes even to other enemies. And, world objects, or just, like, world events. Things that happen in the world. Like, if it's raining, it'll apply hydro to everyone on the field, right? So, we can use this. The way I've been thinking about it is we want to create some sort of system that I think, or we want to create some sort of puzzle using this. Now, obviously, what we need to be careful with is this one. Because obviously, yes, characters can apply elements to enemies or to objects, but that depends on what element the character has, right? And we don't want this dungeon to be restricted by like having to use a pyro character or having to use an animo character or something like that, right? We don't want this to be restrictive. Because then people will get mad and it will be less fun to play. It'll be more restrictive to play. Obviously, I should not open that when I'm streaming. What we can do is, well, like, we can limit it, but if we limit it, it's only going to make less people want to play it, because people will want to use their favorite characters. And I would much rather that they figure out that they can't complete the stage because their combat level isn't high enough or their characters aren't built well enough, than that the stage would be inherently uncompletable because of the character that they're using. If that makes sense, right? If their character is not built well enough and therefore they can't beat it, that's something they can fix. They can build their characters better. They can, improve their own gameplay. And they might be able to still beat it with those characters. But if a character inherently can't do it, then the only thing they can change is to switch to a different character. And someone might not want to do that. So this is one we need to be very, very careful with, which is why I'm gonna, can I strike it through? Yes, there we go. One thing that we can do, in Miliastra specifically, is we can make custom abilities or buttons. We can do this. So if we want to apply a specific element to something, we can allow players to do it through a custom button. And I think that this is going to be the key to making a puzzle around this system. This is going to be the key to it. Right? We create some sort of custom ability, and depending on what players do around the area, that custom ability will get a different attribute, and they can then use it to apply a certain aura to an enemy, right? And the way I would want to do it is, I've thought of this in a pretty neat and novel way. We're gonna create a boss. So okay, here's the idea. Here's the idea that we have. We have a boss enemy, right? This boss is immune to all damage and elemental effects. No matter what the player does, the player cannot do anything to it, right? Now, around the arena will have, let's say the arena has 7 side rooms. And each one of those side rooms is themed after an element. Oh, let's not do that. Side rooms themed after element. Right? Completing a mechanic or killing enemies in a side room grants a pickup, and that pickup gives players the ability to use custom skill, which applies the element corresponding to the room. The boss, at the very start, completing some mechanic reveals its reaction weakness. Trigger this reaction on the boss to make it temporarily vulnerable. So, okay, so here would be, this right here would effectively be our gameplay loop for this boss, right? So, you're in the main arena, in the middle, with the big boss. This boss is immune. You have to do something to this boss to reveal what its weakness is. And revealing this weakness, for example, it would reveal electrocharged as its weakness. Then, you have these 7 side rooms. And in those side rooms, you have to find the hydro side room and the electro side room. Going into those rooms and completing some sort of a mechanic gives you a pickup. And with that pickup, you can use your custom skill. You take that pickup effectively back to the boss, and you use your skill to apply that element to the boss. So you start by doing that with Hydro, you apply that to the boss, and then you do it with Electro, you apply that to the boss, you trigger Electro Charged, and the boss goes damageable. Boom. There's your mechanic. This has been, like, my main idea, so to speak. Right? If that makes sense? It is definitely one of the, like, it is very surface level, but this can be expanded on to, like, quite great lengths, right? I especially just really like the 7 side rooms idea. I think of, like, some encounters from, like, Destiny Dungeons and Raids. I think of, like, the Vault in Last Wish, which has, like, 3 very distinctly themed side rooms, to the point where they have very distinct callouts. Like, there's the stairs room, which has, like, stairs leading down into, like, a middle area. There's the cave room, and then there is the trees room. They're all very distinctly decorated. And that's why, like, callouts for them from players are as easy as they are. Obviously, elemental ones you can very distinctly decorate. There's also, like, lights. You can literally just place lights in the colors of the elements to, like, make it very obvious which room is which, right? So that's the idea. That's what I want to work with. Now, what we effectively need to figure out is if we have an enemy. Let's create a prefab. Let's go for a complex creation, or would it be basic creation? Yeah. Unfortunately, we have very few enemies that we can work with. There's 2 major bosses that we have. There is, like, in terms of actual bosses, we have Magukenki. And we have the Gold Flame Kukasaur Tyrant. Now these bosses, as they stand currently, will literally just have all of its usual combat skills. I don't know if the Gold Flame Kukasaur Tyrant also does, like, what I think it would. Where, like, you need Hydro to effectively break its shield. Where it, like, flies up. I don't know if it does that. I'm unsure if it does that. But that's also why I probably do not wish to use it. What I wish... I think Magukenki would be a better enemy to use here. Now, the nice... Oh, wait, actually, it has a behavior description. What does the Kukusar Tyrant have as behavior description? Unable to enter Golden Flame state. Okay, good. That's okay. Actually, so this might be usable. But I also don't want an enemy that can, like, fly around too much, if that makes sense. So I think I'm gonna go for Magukenki. Magukenki creates after images that deal cryo or anemo damage. When hit by range attacks, Magukenki has a chance to generate Osho no Emote to parry. That's good. How do we customize? Because I know this is a thing we can do now. Like, isn't it? Oh my god, wow. He has so many fucking skills. That's crazy. No, hold on. I just got... a message from somebody. I'll respond to that after stream. The Kenki makes more sense to have variable attacks elements too, because it is a robot. Yeah, exactly, right? Oh, you know what would be so fucking cool? I don't know if this is doable, but... So... Kenki creates after images that deal cryo or anemo damage. You know what would be so fucking sick? If we could modify Magukenki in a way that it creates after images that deal damage of 2 other elements. Like, let's say, Electro and Hydro, and you have to then watch it execute those attacks, and then that's the clue of which elements you need to hit it with. That'd be so fucking sick if that's possible, but I don't know if it is. I literally have done absolutely nothing when it comes to creating custom creations. And I want to see, do we have yeah, some creations that can have their autonomous logic edited and can have custom skills. Oh, so not all enemies can. Noted. Only complex creations can, and complex creations... we have... Okay. So we have the Frost Arm Lava Churl and the Blazing Axe Mita Churl are like big enemies. We have Abyss Mages. And then we have Automaton. We have the Ruin Guard. So, yeah, autonomous logic. Yep. And then it's a status decision node graph. Oh, so this is an entirely new kind of node graph, isn't it? Would that be client? Or would that be a status node graph? Creation status decision node graph. Okay, no, it is client. Okay. So quickly just creating a new one. Execute only by sequence. Interesting. What nodes are available to us? Switch to self-execution status and a branch. So very little execution nodes are available to us. Status node graph configuration ID. Autonomous logic parameter ID. What query nodes are available? Okay, quite a few. Mostly, yeah, of course, variables and then like... Okay. We can use dictionaries, we can use lists. We can do any kind of math that we would normally want to do. Hello, Mariam. Welcome in. Okay. So we can create enemies that deal custom elemental damage. I think, honestly, that is such a phenomenal idea of, like... of creating an enemy that deals damage with, like, 2 specific elements, and then using those elements against it with that, like, side room mechanic. That would be, like, such a, like, phenomenal way to execute it, and phenomenal way to communicate it, and it really would make it feel more like a puzzle, because I do want it to ultimately feel a bit more like a puzzle. right? I don't just want this to be like just free, right? I don't want this to just be you like spawn in front of the boss and the boss literally just shows 2 elements above its head, and then you go into the side rooms, you apply those 2 elements, and then you're done, right? I don't want to do that. Alright, so what I need to figure out is can we, and then there's also patrol settings, creation skill management. Okay, so we can make creation skills. Noted. And I'm assuming these skills work the exact same way that custom creation skill. Okay, yes. Creation skill primary model, and we can change it to like who it's for. We can make it an instant skill or a normal skill. Okay, what? I need to pull up the fucking documentation, dude. All right, give me that documentation. What's up? Complex creations supports scaling with an adjustment rate of 0.5 to 3. Complex creations can adjust preset status. Preset status affects various aspects of a complex creation, including but not limited to its initial actions. Whoa! Hey, thank you for the raid, Kari. Welcome in. Hello, everybody. My name's Rosa. I stream various different things, usually Genshin. I'm a Genshin Impact creator in Miliastra as well. I'm currently the creator of 2 of the top 5 stages in North America and, like, top 10 stages on all other servers. And we're currently brainstorming new ideas. We're trying to build a raid/dungeon-like thing in Miliastra, and we're brainstorming and prototyping various ideas right now. Welcome in, Kaori. I hope that you're... Oh, motherfucker. Right, I haven't started up my piano. Give me a second. Give me a second. We'll get there, chat. I haven't started my piano up. Oh, yep, it'll do that. It always plays the fucking eagle sound, dude. Alright, mute my music. Yep, play it again. I know. Alright, we good? Come on, piano, do your thing. That's audible on stream too, let's go. Alright, fucking hit it. That's all you get of it. I only have to play the first section. You got extra. But yeah, Kaori, how was your stream? What were you up to? Let me quickly... there we go. Right, so... What is the difference between an instant and a normal skill? Team was good, you were playing Genshin. What were you up to? What were you doing? Were you playing through the story? Okay, so this basically has everything on complex creation. So we're just gonna be reading through this together, y'all. Right, creation status decision node graph. Complex creations can be configured with a creation status decision node graph. Once configured here, complex creations will continuously access it and enter different autonomous logic statuses based on configured conditions. Doing some world quests while practicing voiceovers for fun? Oh, hell yeah. I haven't actually done any of the new world quests yet. I haven't had the time. I've only done the main Archon quest, but I've heard they're really, really good. So I'm excited to get to them. I'm excited to do the Itluha world quest, because that apparently is, like, very beloved so far, what I've seen from people talking about it. In the creation status decision node graph, you can reference the creation status node graph. In the creation status node graph, you can have creations execute actual skills and tactics. Okay. So, in the decision node graph, we can reference various creation statuses, and in those statuses, we can have creations execute actual skills and tactics. So, the tree kind of works like this, to my knowledge. We have the, status decision node graph, and in that status decision node graph, we can pick between various status node graphs. Were they called status node graphs? Yeah. We can pick between multiple different status node graphs. Let me just like... so that switches between various of these, and then each one of these status node graphs will have a logic that activates skills and pathing, and I guess just enemy AI. So we can create various different types of these for different points of a fight. That's how I understand how this is written currently. This makes sense to me. You can reference the creation status node graph, and in the creation status node graph, you can have creations execute actual skills and tactics. Cool. Sick. Creation skill management. Complex creations can use custom skills. Skills must be defined before they can be used, obviously. Complex creation skills are edited similarly to character skills. The skill usage of complex creations is subject to 3 cooldown timers: global skill cooldown, skill group cooldown. A skill can only be used when all 3 timers are ready. Okay. So I guess that way you can, like, manipulate various different things. Oh, is this like... So, I'm assuming global skill cooldown would be, like, all enemies who have that skill. Skill cooldown would be the individual enemy with that skill, and skill group cooldown would be if you add multiple skills to the same group. If one of those skills get used, that entire group goes on cooldown. Is that how that works? That would make sense. We can probably check this. Okay, so we'd have to edit this on the complex creation, wouldn't we? Yeah, if we have skills. Cooldown. Cooldown group. Add cooldown group. Gotcha. So we have the global cooldown, the group cooldown, and then the regular cooldown. The skill cooldown. Okay. And we can trigger skill global cooldown. When enabled, triggering a skill cooldown will also trigger the global cooldown. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. And they can only be used when all 3 are at 0. Noted. Okay. Skills. Okay. So skills will have an ID, obviously, referenced in the status node graphs, used when calling this skill for actual execution, so we call it by IDs, that makes sense. Referenced skills, custom skills for complex creation can only reference skills that they can use, so yeah, you need to actually put the skill in, that makes sense. Cooldown configuration, initial cooldown start point. Available options: in battle, the initial cooldown starts when entering battle, or out of battle, the initial cooldown starts when exiting battle. Gotcha. Initial cooldown range. Configure a random time within the specified range to be the effective cooldown time. After the creation is created, it will start using the skill only after the effective cooldown has passed. If the default cooldown range, select a random time with the configured range is the actual cooldown. Oh, so that's the difference between initial and default. So initial is whenever you either enter battle or whenever you exit battle, depending on what you set the starting point as. Probably would be in battle, would make the most sense. Once you enter battle, it triggers the initial cooldown first. So let's say you don't want an enemy to be able to use a certain skill in the first 30 seconds. You can set the initial cooldown to 30 seconds, but let's say after the first use of it, you want the enemy to be able to do it every 10 seconds. You set the actual cooldown time, the default one, to 10 seconds. Cool. Cooldown group. If a skill is configured with a cooldown group, it can only be used when its own skill cooldown, global skill cooldown, and skill group cooldown are already. Cooldown trigger timing. Select an enum value when skill ends or when skill starts. Okay, that makes sense. Trigger global skill cooldown, whether this affects the global skill cooldown or not, and then ignore the global skill cooldown restriction in the skill usage conditions. Makes sense. Cooldown time, global cooldown seconds. All skills for the current complex creation are affected by the global cooldown time. Yep, so that's yeah, okay. Cooldown group configuration. You can add cooldown groups as needed. A cooldown group links the cooldown timers of multiple skills. Skills in the same group can only be used after their countdown timers are ready. You have ID, name, and range. Yep. Autonomous logic parameter settings. Complex creation require the definition of autonomous logic parameter templates, which can be applied in the creation status node graph. These parameters are the basic requirements for the combat behavior of complex creations. Initial effect of autonomous logic parameter template. The autonomous logic parameter template that is active by default at runtime, you can only have one, of course. You can select an option from the drop-down enum to edit the active state. After editing, the active state is synced to the corresponding template's editing tab. Right, I want to have a quick look at this. So, autonomous logic, So entering battle zone right now is FOV detection or range detection. Yeah, that makes sense. So this would be like the FOV that it detects, and you can make it a cone, you can make it full FOV. Chain engagement distance. When other creations are within the chain engagement distance, they will also enter battle. So if we set this to like 5, if there are other entities within that and the Ruin Guard finds it, then okay, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And then there's leaving battle settings and territory settings. So we can change this. We can change its autonomous logic over time and like swap it out to different ones. And okay, that makes sense. Lists all, yeah, and the parameter template lists all of them. Click details editing, enumerate all autonomous for this complex creations. Click plus to create a new one. It's inactive by default. Yep. Template X, where X is the ID. As a node input, different autonomous logic parameter templates can be used to adjust states. Okay. We have its basic settings, initially effective. If enabled, this autonomous logic parameter template takes effect immediately when the creation is made. Battle zones. What is range perception plus? I didn't see that one. I only saw FOV detection and range. Oh, range perception plus. Oh, never mind. So this is different than the usual range detection. Oh, because we have chain engagement distance now. That pretty sure that was not there before. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was not there before. When hostile entities are within this range, the creation can get their information and enter battle with them as targets. Yep. And there's also FOV detection. We can either do cone or full FOV. Selecting one also updates the range editing parameters. Configures the distance and the sphere radius. Yep. When a creation enters battle, other creation entities within this area that are not in battle will also enter battle. Out of battle settings. Okay. Rules that define when a creation automatically leaves battle after engaging a hostile entity during runtime. When the distance between a creation in combat and its target entity exceeds the configured value, the creation leaves battle. Yeah, this is the same. We have this on other enemies too. If no valid path exists between a creation in combat and its target entity, the creation leaves battle. And when there's no valid path between a creation in combat and its target entity, the creation will leave battle following the specified delay. Yeah. So we can set it to leave battle after a few seconds, or when the player's too far away, we can set it to leave battle And also we can set it to pathfinding failed leaving battle if we want it to leave battle when the enemy can't pathfind its way to the player, and we can set it to how many seconds it needs to fail for in order to properly leave battle. Okay. And there's territory settings. Is that in here as well? Territory settings? Yes. Right. I think I know how this works, but I'm just gonna read just to be sure and safe. Supports none sphere and cylinder configuration size parameters are required. The territory is centered on the creation spawn location, does not move the creation. Creation's movement range is constrained within the territory. Okay, so the creation cannot move outside of the territory that you set. And this restriction can be adjusted via nodes. When enabled, the creation leaves battle when the target entity leaves a specified area after a specified delay. Noted. Right, patrol settings. I'm assuming this is the same as patrolling for any enemy. Patrol, here we go. Yeah, we can either set it to wandering, a behavior supported by all creations when not engaged in the battle. During stage runtime, when creations are not in battle, they will move randomly within their territory range. And then there's patrol. Some creations support configuring patrol behavior when not in battle, and you can effectively set a pathway that those enemies will follow and patrol around. Right? Yeah, you can one-way round trip or loop. Yes. Okay. That makes sense. We know that. We know that. Right, managing complex creation behaviors through a local filter. The creation status decision node graph. So that's this whole thing. The construct state decision node graph starts with the execute only by sequence node. Each output angle connects to the switch to self-execution status node to execute different behaviors as needed. If the entry conditions on the preceding state are not met, it will first attempt to enter failed execution. If the conditions are still not met, it will try to execute the state of the next output angle. The creation status decision node graph continuously executes. If the conditions of the preceding states are met, the complex creation will immediately switch execution states and execute the preceding state's node graph. If the conditions are not met, the complex creation may not execute any state node graph. Example, during runtime, start from branch 1 and first evaluate node A. Node A's conditions are met and it executes successfully. Nodes B and C will not be executed subsequently. If nodes A conditions are not met, continue evaluating node B. If neither nodes A nor B meet the conditions, start evaluating node C from branch 2. Noted. That makes sense. If the creation is currently executing the status node graph within node C, but the execution conditions of node A are met, the complex creations will immediately switch to executing the state node graph within node A. So if we are currently here, but then suddenly something changes and this one is met, it will prioritize going to this one. So you can effectively create a state priority list here. If multiple conditions are met for multiple states, you can set a priority list by doing the execute only by sequence here. Okay, that makes sense. Creation status node graph. The input and output pins of the creation status node graph support only single line connections. The creation status node graph represents continuous behavior while a complex creation remains in a given execution state and is not switched by the status decision node graph. It continuously executes the configured behavior in the creation status node graph. For example, when a complex creation switches to its creation status node graph shown below, this node graph will continue its execution. So, yeah, there's a sequence again. Sequence 1, execute skill, execute skill, execute skill. If skill 1 fails to execute because it's on cooldown, then do this instead. If that fails to execute because it's on cooldown, then do this instead. And if all 3 of these fail, then execute its patrol. Okay. That makes sense, I think. And these are the only nodes that we have in a creation status node graph. I think it is. So Yeah, you have creation status and creation status decision. They're both in here. And also creation skill node graphs. All three of them are in here. Oh boy. All right. That is a lot. That is a lot. But I think I mostly get it. Now I want creation skill. Creation skill node graph. Oh, well, that doesn't fucking help. Oh, no. Here we have the, like, what nodes are... Oh, translation still in prog. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Alrighty. Cool. That's not gonna help us. Fuck. Alright, we're on our own, y'all. That sucks. Oh, unlucky. Alright, well, let's figure it the fuck out then. Alright, I want to quickly delete this rune guard. Let's... dynamic units, or it would be creations, and then, yeah, complex. So yeah, we can have hilly churls, we can have 2 abyss mages for some reason, only the hydro and electro one, because the pyro and cryo one, I guess, were too much. And then, I mean, it's either gonna be the frost arm lava churl or the ruin guard, unfortunately. We can increase it in size quite significantly, though. Which is kind of fucking neat. And we can also make it fucking tiny. Look at him. That's neat. We probably want to make him pretty big. I don't want this cutscene music. There we go, much better. So yeah, we have its attributes. I'll quickly set this to 0.1 as well. Set it to level 100 real quick too, so it doesn't die immediately. Right, patrol template. Patrol path, we can open the path management tool and create paths with various different points. We can add waypoints, and then, yeah, we can create a patrol path here. Data is for preview only and will not take effect during runtime, yep. And then we can reference this path in various creations. Okay. That all makes a ton of sense. That is easy to understand. So quickly remove this one out for now. Okay. What I just mostly need to know right now, is... Yeah, so this guy has no skills right now. If I put this guy in the world, it should do literally nothing. Right? If I go to... here, this guy should do literally nothing. Oh, hold on. Where is it again? Is it terrain navigation? Yeah. There we go. Are rare spawns a thing in Genshin, like shiny Pokemon? Not really. There's the unusual hilly churl, but he definitely has set spawn locations, so... no, not really. You know what? Let's immediately fuck him up. Anefa, Sucrose, Bina, Flins.
I will follow where you lead.
So does this guy do anything now? No. He is a sitting fucking duck right now. Good, that's what we want.
Observe, be silent. Night falls.
And we can also just kill him, like, very fast. You see how we have these custom buttons, by the way, G and Z? That's what we want to make use of, right there. We want to make use of these two buttons. Okay, so that's good. So, right now, can we make this guy immune? Is that a thing? Can we make him immune to damage? Because that's one problem that I'm already noticing, is we don't seem to be able to. Which we are able to for basic creations. Like, if we grab a basic creation Ruin Guard, aren't we able to set this guy to not take any damage? Oh, I thought we were able to. Oh, where do we do that again? I thought you were able to set that. Do we need to apply an immunity status? Is that what we need to do? Do we need to create a unit status and just call it immunity? And effect details, add effect. Elemental damage immunity. There it is. There we go. And then immune or not. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, we can just add one for all elements to an enemy and then take that status away whenever we want the enemy to become damageable. Okay. That's simple enough. Effective on creations and objects, yes. So, let's say we literally just want elemental damage bonus adjustment. Oh my god, we can also... Oh, we can create reaction damage bonuses, too. Interesting. Elemental mastery correction value. Crit hit trigger chance value. Interesting. Mount special effects, elemental effects. Oh, you can even hide nameplate. Make it invisible, too. Transparency effect. Enable outline effect. So yeah, there's a bunch of these. Is there, like, applying an elemental aura? Is that in here, too? I don't want the Not Crime main theme right now. No, I don't think so. So, yeah, we just want more elemental damage immunity to, like, all... Wait, no, I need to just type immunity. And then just, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we literally cannot add any more. Alright, cool. So now, if we apply this status to an enemy, they become immune to all damage. So, can we apply this to this complex Ruin Guard out of the gate? I'm not sure if we can. Oh, unit status. Yes, we can. Immunity. Oh, wait, there's also already... Oh, affected by. Oh, here we go. We can have it affected by different elements, too. Bubbly prison. That's funny. Stamina no longer decreases. Super jump. Accelerate. Pyro elemental application. Okay, what's the difference between pyro elemental application? Oh, I guess that's a translation thing, because the other ones are affected by hydro, cryo, animo, electro, geodendro, and then that's pyro. Okay, that's just a translation thing. That makes sense. Special status HP locked. Right. Now, the one thing is, like, if we apply this immunity to it, right? So this guy is now immune. You want to throw out some thoughts like that if you don't mind? What do you mean? So now, the question is, right, if we go in, can we still trigger reactions on this guy now? Because we don't want to, right?
I can do...
Can we still apply elemental effects?
Installation chamber
We
deployed.
can. He's also not, he is straight up not immune.
Stand clear.
Like,
Close your eyes. Night falls.
why is that status not... Why is that status not on the enemy? Like, this is the prefab we've thrown in, yes? Yeah, it is. The status is on him. Unit status. Check. Do we need to activate statuses? Unit status. Okay, well, it's not in this. Unit status node graph. That's only if you make new statuses. Oh, wait. Wait, no, I'm stupid. Hold on. Unit status right here. Initial, infinite duration. There we go. Now, is this boss immune? Let's just, like, quickly, I don't know, Lauma. There you
Will
are.
we be gone long?
There we go, immune. Can we still apply elements to it? See, now that sucks. See, now that sucks. Because, like, we can still trigger Lunar Charge on this guy. And I actually don't want to be able to do that. Okay. How can we prevent elemental application on an enemy? Well, I mean, we don't need to. There's other ways around it. There's definitely other ways around it. Like, if we go back to our little Miro board real quick. Animo Aura? I mean, technically, I mean, that would just, like, swirl all elements, but no. The way I would do it is, okay. Here's what we do, right? Oh, I'm already thinking of how to do this visually, too. Also, hey, Tovi, welcome in. I'm already thinking of how to do this too, right? So, boss is immune to everything. Triggering elemental reactions on it, not strong enough, doesn't do anything. But what we do is, so we have the 7 side rooms, right? But we also have the boss, who is in the, main arena. That's where the boss is, right? This arena is, all but visually, or exclusively, like, visually split into 2 halves, both kind of like, both not really colored, both like colored in white. Players take the side room pickups to one of the main room halves. Activating their pickup in that half changes that half into the corresponding element. So then, let's say the boss would want Electro Charge to be triggered on it in order to make it vulnerable. You go into the side room and you pick up, you get the Hydro pickup. Come back to the main room, into one of the halves of the room. You dunk that pickup in, and then it it suddenly makes the left side of the room entirely blue, hydro colored, and some hydro effects spawn in it or something. And then you do the same thing with Electro on the right side, and then once both are there, it triggers some VFX animation, both shoot a fucking beam at the boss or whatever, and then the boss goes damageable, right? That's the fucking idea. And that way, only when the room itself triggers the reaction on the boss is when this actually works. Which, that shouldn't be too hard, because we can dictate that with just a bunch of logic, right? Yeah, that's doable. That's doable. Okay. So, for now, we have the immunity status figured out. That is just gonna be there no matter what. This enemy is gonna be completely immune to everything. Now, I want to check, can we interact with some sort of node graph and take that status away? I'm assuming we would need to go into the status node graph, right? Which status node graphs are those? Okay, those are server node graphs. Thank fuck, dude. Yes. So we'd be able to, here, for example, we create a new signal. That means boss vulnerable. And then we monitor that signal. Boss vulnerable. And then can we... Status. Can we remove status? Remove unit status. There we go. Remove from the target entity. So we attach this to the boss itself. So, remove it from self. Removal method. All coexisting statuses with the same name. Remover entity we don't technically need to have, but, the status ID, would it be the config ID that we need? Yeah, config ID. So, we copy that config ID and we put it in. So now, whenever we trigger that boss vulnerable signal, it should remove the immunity status. Right? So now we just need to find a way to trigger that. So let's create, just to make something very, very simple, let's quickly grab a stone mechanism. Let's put a tab around it with a sphere of 4, just so it's big enough. Damageable. And then we quickly create a new node graph. Boss damage interact. And when tab is selected, send the signal of boss vulnerable. And we also probably want to quickly rename this one to immunity logic. And then we attach that to the actual immunity skill. There we go. We save that. And then we go to here, and we add the boss damage interact node graph, and we save that as remove immunity. Save it, and then we paste that into the world, and now we go in. Fuck it.
Who's our target this time?
So now, boss is immune, we trigger it, boss is damageable. Easy, right? Super easy. And now, like, all that we need to do is just change wherever that, like, wherever that immunity signal is triggered, right? So we just need to put that at the end of our mechanic check, right? When mechanic's completed, send signal, remove immunity. Cool. That is super easy. Okay. So now, what we need to do is we need to find a way to configure these buttons. These custom buttons. They have cooldowns on them. They should have usage limits on it. Illegal count value. So we can have multiple icons on it too. I wish that there were like elemental icons here. Yeah, there aren't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, dude, the only thing that's missing here is Animo. Well, okay, no, because we have Pyro, Hydro, Cryo, Geo, Dendro, and then we're kind of missing Animo and Electro. So no, like, nice, like, purple. I mean, we can use that for Electro, and we need something for Animo. It's like a skill icon. So anything that's like windy. I don't fucking know, dude. Okay, well, here I guess we have Pyro, we have Electro, we have Geo, we have Cryo. We have this kind of could be Animo, but then where the fuck is like Dendro and Hydro? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, this could be Hydro, and then we need something for Dendro, which I guess, like, Life could be Dendro. These are not things that we need to be thinking about right now. I need to know about custom buttons. How do these work? How do custom buttons work? Oh, hold on. We're in fucking... Yeah, it's this track. Okay, great. This will be somewhere in the UI. Advanced concepts, UI control groups. Okay, it's not on here. Is it on interface layout? No, it's not. Is it something to do with the character? Edit character. Not much we can edit in the character itself. We can put variables on it. We can put VFX and status things on it. Equipment slot, minimap marker, nameplates, collision triggers, sound effect players. That's it. On the player itself, what can we, I mean, we can, yeah, only put status, variable, and timer on the players. Right. So how do we make those buttons activate custom logic? Because that's what we need. We need those buttons to activate custom logic. And I don't know how to do that. Because, like, what is illegal count value? Would that, like, be... would that be a variable? Like, that we can give to the player? If we like, add... If we add, like, a variable to the player... that is just, like, an integer... That is, like, usage count... If we add that in, would we... Okay, so that's an integer. Got it. So we can manipulate how often this can be used through editing that variable. So that's what we need to do. We need to set this to 0, hide when no usage is left, and then whenever the player gets that, show that up on their screen with 1 usage, and then allow them to use it in the main room, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, but how do we actually, like, trigger something off of this? That's what I need to know. Is it like a skill node graph? Because if so... I mean, it wouldn't be creation skill node graph. Well, I mean, I guess players are creations, right? But, you know what? Let me quickly go into the Discord. Maybe someone's already answered this. Because I know it is possible. Yeah. No one's really talked about it yet. Classic mode is too new. Yeah, there's an item display, but that's not what we want. And yeah, we can set it to craftsperson keys. So we could use the item system for it. But I don't think that's what other people have done. Because what are these custom buttons for otherwise? Surely there's like... No, it's not in here. No, I don't want to rename it. I just want to delete it. Custom item is sold. No, like, I need an event of, like, when custom button is pressed. But surely that would be on the client. Right? Like, surely that would be on the client. Because the player is the one pressing it. You know what? Time to just ask the question in the Discord and see if anyone answers. Give me the screenshot tool. There we go. All right. Wonder if anyone has an answer to that already. UI event nodes. Oh, shit! That makes so much more sense. When UI control... Oh, my God! Of course! Of course, because it's a UI control group. So, yeah. So, we grab the index of this... Gotcha. Yeah, so it gives us the index of it. So we would check branch, and check if this is equal, to that index, right? Which one have I selected? The custom button 1, okay. Let's not give it a usage limit. And let's give it, like, that icon, right? And then... Oh, I mean, we don't want to do this in this, obviously. We wanna do this in the player. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna, like, copy this over. So we want to quickly create a, like, player boss control, right? And then we want to attach this to the player. Love how it gives us in-game save variables, but we literally do not have access to saving in classic mode yet. I don't know why. I don't know why we don't have access to saving in classic mode. I think it's because people can bring in different characters constantly. Oh, dude, this song is so good. Player boss control. All right. So yeah, when this is triggered, send signal, boss vulnerable. Check, right? That way, if we now use that button, the boss should become vulnerable. Right?
Ready to spice things up.
Thank you, Escoffier. So, boss immune. Check. Press Z. Boss vul. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Sick. Okay. So, yeah, we can activate logic based on those UI skills. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, okay, we can make so much use of that. Like, genuinely. Like, that's actually kind of nuts. Alright. So, yeah, and I mean, we can change so many things based on those buttons, because those buttons are just, they're entity node graphs. They're server node graphs, so we can trigger anything in the entire game using these entity node graphs. So yeah, right now it just like made the boss like vulnerable, but what we want now is let's create one of these like side room things, right? So let's quickly undo this player boss control, right? Let's quickly take that off. So, So here's what we want to do. We want to create a little side room that would allow us to, I'm thinking. Let's just make a little object for it first. Let's just make another one of these real quick. That, this would be like Animo Aura. What's like the most characters? Is it Electro? E-L-E-C-T-R-O. Yeah, because Geo, Dendro, Animo, Pyro, Hydro, Cryo. Electro. Okay, that fits, thank God. So yeah, let's do Electro, right? And the node graph we want to attach to this is to give players the Electro element. So we want to effectively create, I mean, realistically, we'd want to create an enumeration, but I don't think we can do that. I don't think an enum is a variable that we can add. No, it's not. It's not. Thank you for lurking, Cyber. I appreciate it. So, I mean, we'd probably just go, for our own ease of use, we should make it strings, right? Held element, right? Starts as an empty string. We want to manage the UI control groups real quick. We want to set a button usage limit to usage count. And high when no usage is left. All right. And then we want to create a server node graph. Specifically a grant Electro, right? When tab is selected, we want to do a few things. We want to grab the selector entity and get player of corresponding character. Get player entity to which the character belongs. And then on that player entity, we want to set a custom variable. We want to set two custom variables, basically. We want to set the usage count to 1. And this is going to be an integer, which we want to set to 1. And we want to set the target entity. We want to set the held element string to Electro. Right? So if we attach grant Electro to this object, grant Electro, cool. We save that as prefab real quick. Let me quickly, okay, I've already taken the remove immunity out, and we grab this. So now, if we go in,
Allow me to lend you some moonlight.
Electro Aura, we click that, it gives us the skill, and then, I mean, using it currently does nothing. But yes, so that pops the skill up on our screen. That's good. That's what we need. That's what we need. That's what we want. Quickly, this, I want to, like, I want to just hide this one real quick if we can. Just hide it. There we go. Cool. So now we have the custom skill, right? Now, when that one's pressed, when that one's triggered, we need to do a few things. So, player boss control. First thing that we need to do, obviously, is set custom variable. Target self. What was it again? Right. Usage count. Integer to 0. Then what we need to do is we need to have a multiple branch. And the control expression needs to be get custom variable. This needs to be a string specifically. Target entity self, obviously. And the variable name being held element. And we're going to create 7 different states here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is going to be pyro. All right, let's put electro at the top real quick. Electro, pyro, hydro, cryo, animo, dendro, geo. Right? So now, depending on what that string is, it'll activate a different thing. Let's say for now, we want to apply the electro element to the boss. Right? I know the boss is you can apply your own elements to it, but let's say we want to apply the electro elemental aura to the boss. So we want unit statuses, at status, status category. We want, or yeah, no, it is in here. Affected by electro. Initial layer 0. So we want 0 stacks. So we want it to start with 0 stacks. And we want to now modify that unit status to 1. Is that immunity logic just... Where was that on again? Was that the status node? Yeah, it was status node graph. Okay, but how do we change this? I wanna create my own custom status, I think. Unit status. New status. Electro. Right? Maximum stack layers 1. We want it to have infinite duration once it's granted. Different applier sources can stack. Unit status from the same source will stack by default. If disabled, unit status from different sources will not stack. Right, okay. But that we can turn that off because the maximum stack layer is going to be 1. The effect is going to be... Can we not apply electro to it? Oh, no, we can't. Oh, okay. Or... elemental effects? Effective on character creation, elemental attack potency. Okay, it's not, prevent elemental attack application. Wait. I did not know that existed. Hold on. Prevent elemental attack application. And there's monitor elemental reactions? Monitor elemental This is the exact thing that we need. Okay, good to know. Wait, oh, coding this might actually be a lot easier than I thought. Right, so hold on. Now when it's immune, can I apply elements to this guy?
Allow me to lend you some moonlight.
So, he's immune.
Showering you with praise.
Yeah, Hydro does not get applied. Oh, that's so cool. That's exactly what we need. Wait. My face when it's a lot easier than I thought. Okay, but like... Oh wait, oh, there's prefabricated status categories, of course. So now here we just need to find affected by Electro and grab that config ID. Yeah. Apparently maximum stack layers of that is 10, which I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, elemental effects Electro. So that is the status right there. Okay. So we can make our own one. And we should. We should make our own one. So, yeah, the effect is... elemental effects. Electro. Let's just set this to 200 just to see what it does. We want it to have infinite duration once it's applied. We want one stack layer. We don't want it to stack. And now we need a new status node graph. Which basically, like, gives it an extra stack. Rename to Electro Logic. And we need to create a new signal. That's a node graph variable. We need to create a new signal. Apply Electro. We need to monitor that. Wait, hold on. When elemental reaction event occurs? Oh, okay. Also, yeah, wet is a reaction, by the way, which is really funny. I know why it is. I know why wet is a reaction. Okay. That makes sense. All right, that's cool that that exists. All right, we'll be able to use that for sure. Right, status. We need to add a unit status. The unit status ID needs to be this. How did I do it in immunity logic? Yeah, the target entity is self. So the application target entity is self here. And I guess the signal source entity is that, but that doesn't really matter. Applied stacks 1. Unit status parameter dictionary. String and floating point numbers. Unit status parameter dictionary. Fuck is a parameter dictionary? I do not know enough about statuses yet. I'm not gonna fucking lie. Right, but anyway, that should apply the Electro. That should apply 1 stack of Electro to the enemy. So now what we need to do is we need to save this. We need to go back to our enemy. And we need to add a new... We need to add the Electro status with initial layer 0. So it's not active. And then when we hit the Grant Electro right here, this node graph, Oh, no, wait. When this needs to be on the skill. This needs to be on the boss control. Yeah. So, now, when Electro, we need to send signal. That is apply Electro. Right? But, like, will that override the, like, can't have elemental effects status?
Okay. Let's take a walk.
On it? That's the question, because right now it's immune to elemental effects. So, we grab the Electro Aura, and we use it. Yeah, and that didn't do anything, but is that because the enemy is immune to elemental effects? Is that the reason? Because obviously that immunity... that immunity shouldn't exist. For these. Like, these should override that immunity. Yeah, prevent elemental attack application. We quickly delete that out.
Need something taken care of?
Okay, that didn't do anything. I would like to log what I'm doing. Open my log. Where am I log at? There you are. And just monitor everything real quick. It is correctly using it.
I knew you'd miss me.
Okay. Player boss control took effect. Alright, what did that do? So yes, it was true, so it set this, and then it applied Electro. Oh, I should have also set, that's my bad. We need to do this again real quick. Why did... Huh? Are these not loggable? Oh! Wait. Chad, I might be stupid. Yep. Didn't apply that, huh? I was like, why is that not taking any effect? Yo, Light Shard, thank you. I've never seen you before, for sure. No idea who you are. Thank you for the follow.
Let's go stretch our legs while the...
Alright. Okay, that still didn't do anything. How was I possibly not following that? But that also didn't do anything. Maybe because I messed up the entities? Is that why? Like, hold on. Let me quickly set both of these to self. Maybe I just messed up the entities. Maybe, is the config ID different? Just, I wanna cover all my bases here. No, the config ID is the same. Okay, Check entity's elemental effect status. Okay, that's neat. So yeah, there's only add and remove unit statuses. So what I'm wondering is why this is not triggering. So like Grant Electro took effect, and it did the thing, and it set this to Electro, and then player boss control took effect, and it did all this, and it correctly sent the signal. But then I didn't get any of I didn't get any of this in. On the actual status node graph. Oh, is that because it didn't have any stacks? So it didn't do anything? Is that why? Should I not put this? Should I not put this here? Should I... Like, hold on. Wrong one. Player boss control. Should I put this here instead? Oh, I can't paste? Alright, add unit status. And should I just, like, manually grab the boss ID? Which, should be fair, that's not that big a deal. Get entity by GUID. Query entity by GUID, there it is. Just set this to both real quick. Status config ID. Applied stacks 1. We just do that straight here. Would that now work? Let me once again monitor everything in the logs.
I'll only demonstrate this once.
Okay. So we grab the aura. Yep, that gives us the thing. Alright, what does the log say it did? Did this fail? Application result empty enumeration. Slot ID 0. I'm willing to believe that that failed. Oh, applier entity 0 as well. Oh, wait. Oh. I know why. And grab the right... I didn't grab the right entity. I grabbed it from the... Yeah, I need to grab this one. I grabbed the prefab entity. Right? That's my problem. Yep. Right, let's try that again. Got my logs open.
Ready to spice things up.
We get that. Hey! Nice! Alright, now obviously... Okay, no wait, the electro stays applied. It stays on. It's not going away. Okay. Well, that's still not good. Okay, I want to see, can we apply that electro effect even if the enemy has the elemental immunity status? That would be like the most ideal, if that's possible. But I wouldn't be shocked if it wasn't. So, prevent elemental attack application. What I hope is that it only prevents application through attacks, like it says, and not through node graphs. This would literally, like, make this entire thing so much easier.
Witness my magnificent...
So, just to quickly check, we cannot apply Hydro to it. Holy shit! Does this cause a reaction? It does. Fuck! It does cause a reaction.
Quiet now.
Shit. Fuck. Okay. Damn it. Oh, we were so close. Well, I know there's immunity to reactions, right? Or monitor elemental reactions. Oh, special status invincible is just there. So is there no immunity to elemental reactions? There's no way to stop that? There is a monitor elemental reactions. And you can set it to be a trigger. Yeah. Oh, on the stage. Wow. What if you set it to stage, then what? What can you do with it? I don't know. Okay. So... what does special status invincible do? Okay, that just does exactly what you think it would. So do we even need to do all this then? Can't we just change this to... would certainly make this a lot easier. There we go. That would certainly make that a lot easier.
Follow me. And
Are you testing something? You're still... oh, wow. Wait, whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! And now I just can't even attack it. Wait, that's what we need. Oh. How did that still trigger Lunar Charged? Come on, man. I'm not even getting numbers. I'm not even getting, like, an immune number. Okay. Well, we can't exhaust this, right? Just to quickly check, like, this can't be exhausted. No, he is permanently affected by Electro.
A moonlit night for all.
Yeah, we can only... Alright. Alright, well that does kind of suck. But... oh wait, no, the Electro's gone.
Defensive mode engaged.
The Electro application's gone. Is that because of Quicken? No. Right. But it does eventually go away. Okay. Okay. By the way, Light Shard, what we're... since you've only just tuned in, what we're trying to do is I'm trying to build a fucking dungeon boss, basically. Here's the idea for the encounter, right? You have this boss enemy. It's immune to all damage and elemental effects. Completing some sort of mechanic reveals what reaction it's weak to, and triggering that reaction on the boss makes it temporarily vulnerable. But I don't want it to be triggered through, like, just player action, because then, you know, if the player gets lucky and it's a reaction that they can activate with their characters, then they can just skip everything. So, the arena will have 7 small side rooms. Each room will be themed after one of the elements. Completing a mechanic or killing enemies in this room grants you a pickup, and that pickup gives players the ability to use a custom skill, and using that in the main room will apply that element to the boss. The main arena, where the boss is visually split into 2 halves, both are colored in white, and whenever the players take one of these side room pickups, let's say they grab the electro pickup and take it into the main room and they use that skill, 1 half of the room turns to electro. And then if they do that for another element, and then they turn another half of the room to, for example, hydro, then electro, hydro, it triggers electro charges on the boss, and if that was its weakness, it makes the boss vulnerable. And there you go. That's the mechanic, right? That's what we're trying to prototype currently. That's the idea. Which is why I'm trying to, like, apply this element to the boss, but I don't want the player themselves to be able to trigger this reaction in any way. So the way I'll probably do it, like, I think if we can botch this, we can get around this. If we can just make the room visually reflect that one of the current elements is electro, then we can just wait until both of them are activated, and then apply both elements to the boss at the same time, cause the reaction, and remove the immunity then. I think that would be, like, that works, right? Because you still visually have the indicator, that, like, which elements are currently applied. It's just they're not actively on the boss currently. I think that's fine. I think that's okay. Cool. Whew. Oh, this is so cool. This is such a cool idea. I can't wait to, like, start. The problem is, I want to start testing this in, like, a team of 4 as well, because obviously that's kind of what this is built for. It's built for a team of 4. Which is why, like, I might want to, like, scale this up so that you do need to, like, trigger 2 reactions on the boss or something, so that if you're with a team of 4, like, theoretically each player could go into a side room and you could complete it faster. But if you're solo, like, you're gonna need to struggle. You're gonna need to do all 4 rooms on your own. Literally like how a Destiny dungeon would design itself, right? It's completable and intended kind of for a trio experience for 3 players at the same time, and you can complete these mechanics quite quickly with 3 people, but it is entirely soloable. You just need to do everything on your own. That's kind of the, like, idea I want to go for. It's gonna be so fucking hard to balance this. Though actually, it kind of isn't, because I figured something out, something that you can do. I figured this out recently. In the statuses, you can override player stats. Right? You can override their stats to something else. So you can change their crit rate, you can change their, I mean, okay, no, that still wouldn't fix anything, though, because constellations exist, and you can't disable constellations, or enable them. So, like, it's gonna be hard to balance this. I'm probably just gonna make, like, a couple of different difficulty levels, and those difficulty levels are just gonna increase the amount of damage that enemies deal, and increase the amount of health that the boss has, in the hopes that, like, you know, players will be able to find a difficulty that works for them. Alright, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, chat. Do not go anywhere. Girly needs a piss, you know? Sometimes that happens. So I will be right back. Do not go anywhere. See y'all in a moment. I return. There we go. Give me a nice theme. All right. So we have our main idea here. Now what I need to know is, can we trigger reactions on this boss by just applying 2 elemental statuses? Is that a thing that we can do? So what I'm quickly gonna make is I'm going to make a new status for this time Hydro. Right? Can I duplicate these? No, I can't. Okay. Well, we're gonna do it the exact same way. Infinite duration. And then effect details, we're gonna have elemental effects, Hydro, potency, max. Save this. Right? Now all we really need to do is just have that config ID on player boss control. And if we want to like activate Hydro, We just need to do the same thing, but change the status ID. Still don't know which of these two it actually needs, but that's fine. So let me quickly go to the Grant Electro thing, and let's just turn this into Grant Element real quick, just for ease of use. And then let's just add a new tab that's going to be Hydro Aura. And we're going to change this node graph. We don't need to do all the stupid filtering stuff, so it doesn't really matter. We're going to make a quick tab ID multiple branch. There we go. And I believe it's just 1 and 2. 1's Electro, 2 is Hydro. Yep. So we're going to add 2 of these. 1 is Electro, 2 is Hydro. And then just... There we go. Is this ugly? Yes. Do I care? Not at the moment. There we go. Now it's slightly less spaghetti. Right. So we have these two now. So now what we should be able to do now, I wanna immediately fail-safe test for something. I'm gonna put a lunar character on the team.
I have high hopes for this journey.
To see if... Right? Oh, hold on. Me when I don't save my prefabs. Overwrite and save. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna immediately put a lunar character on the team.
Who's our target this time?
Right. So we have an Electro Aura. We grab that, and we apply it to the boss. Boom. Now Hydro Aura. That... So it applied both auras, but it didn't trigger the reaction. Hang on a minute. But... Why does it not? Bro! That's so funny. Wait, how the fuck is that possible? Shouldn't that... I guess it doesn't. That's so weird. That's so fucking weird. What if we change it to Dendro? What if we change it to Dendro? Just out of curiosity. What if we change the Hydro status? Can we change the name? What if we change this to Dendro? Max potency. And then quickly change you. Dendro Aura. Overwrite and save. Then the node graphs. Dendro. Will this trigger aggravate? I would genuinely laugh if it doesn't. It might just be a bug with like the wet
I'll
status
only
effect.
demonstrate this once.
If not, this is extremely funny. Electro Aura. Boom. Dendro Aura. That did trigger Quicken. Okay. So it's a bug with wet, specifically? Yep. Yeah, because applying both. Yeah, the Dendro effect is only still there because it's triggered Quicken. But waiting for that to go away real quick. God, that lasts long. My God. It's not meant to last that long, right? Does it last infinitely because of the status potency? Is that what it is? Oh, it might be, actually. My VTuber's just a customizable model that I got off booth. Please don't try to sell me any assets. If you're one of those bots, please don't. That's usually messages you start with. If you're not, welcome into the stream. Okay, so it did just go away. What if we apply Dendro first? And then Electro. Okay, still triggers Quicken. Does this now trigger Spread? No, it doesn't. Okay. Okay, huh. So it's a bug with wet specifically, I take it, because wet is considered a reaction. So I'm assuming that takes precedent over then triggering Electro Charged. But that would make all Hydro reactions not usable for this, which renders a lot of them unusable, because that's Hydro Swirl. Yeah, Hydro Swirl would be unusable. Hydro Crystallize would be unusable. Freeze would be unusable. Vaporize would be unusable. Bloom would be unusable. Did I miss anything? Electrocharged. Vaporize. Freeze. Bloom. Crystallize. Swirl. Yeah, that would leave 6 reactions unusable if we can't use Hydro. Is it the order in which they're applied? If Hydro is applied first and then Electro, does that then work? Because if so, like we can mess around with that completely fine. There's no issues there. So if we quickly new status. Hydro. Confirm create. Infinite duration. Don't stack. Add effect. Elemental effects. Hydro. Boom. Copy that config ID. Player boss control. Hydro. There we go. And then we just need the, we're gonna rename Grant Electro real quick to just Grant Element. And we're gonna create a new tab on this. Hydro Aura. Overwrite save. And make a third. That's just gonna be setting this to Hydro. Save it. Yeah, if we were to apply Hydro first, then Electro. Because we can build around that, no problem. I want an F on the team because I want to see if it triggers Lunar Charge.
Commencing task.
So yeah, we apply Hydro first. Check. And then Dendro. Boom! We're blooming. Alright. But if we have Dendro on the boss and then Hydro, that also triggers Bloom. Huh. Interesting. Is it Electro Charge specifically that won't trigger? Hydro first. Then Electro. Is it because Inefa's on the team? Is that why? If we didn't have a Lunar Charger on the team, would it be fine? If we just had these guys,
Ready to spice things up.
would it be fine? Because if so, that's gonna fucking complicate things. Alright, Hydro first, then Electro. Okay, no. So Electro Charge specifically is fucked. What if we now apply Dendro? Quicken and Bloom just triggered. Okay. This is so fucking weird. This is so weird. Why is it like this? Why the fuck is it like this? Right, well, I guess we just gotta test out all elements, right? See what reactions work and don't work? Just get that out the way, right? Alright, we have Electro, Dendro, and Hydro. Let's make Pyro. What is overlapping? If enabled, acquiring a unit status that exceeds the maximum layer limit will replace the earliest added status with the corresponding number of layers. I don't care. Leave that on. I have that on for all of these, yeah. Alright. Effects. Elemental. Effects. Pyro. Max potency. Boom. Save it. Electro, Dendro, Hydro, Pyro, Cryo. And it's Animo and Geo after this, and then we're done. Elemental effects. Cryo. Save. Animo. Elemental effects. Animo, max potency, save. And lastly, Geo. Elemental effects, Geo, save. Right, now we need all of these auras on this thing. Electro, Dendro, Pyro, Aura, Cryo, Aura, Animo, Aura, Geo, Aura. Overwrite and save. And we need our node graph, our player boss control, our grant element. Dendro, Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, Animo, and Geo. Apply all of these. That one. That one. That one. And lastly, that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And then on player boss control here, we need to add those unit statuses. Oh, this is gonna be so ugly. This is gonna be so fucking ugly. Oh, God. Right, this one's gonna be for Pyro. Right, we need the Pyro status. There we go, that's the Pyro status. Then we need... This one needs to go quite a bit down, because 2 need to fit in here. There we go. Cryo. And Animo, let's do Cryo first. Cryo is that ID. Cryo in there. Animo is that ID. Animo. Boom. Obviously we want this in there. And then lastly we want Geo. Kind of want to move all of these up. That's a bit more centered. There we go, that's slightly prettier. Alright, Geo status. Check. Okay, that's all of them. Well, let's see. Let's put Columbina on the team so that all lunar reactions can be activated to see if those work or don't work. You know, let's just go fucking Anefa, Columbina, and then like Lauma and a Geo character. Fucking there we go.
Follow me and bask.
Ugh, sneeze. Right, here's all of my auras. Right, process of elimination. Let's do all Electro reactions first. We already tested Electro and Dendro and Electro and Hydro. Let's do Electro. Check. Pyro. That didn't do anything. Pause. That didn't do anything. Did I mess up code? Does the enemy need to have all the statuses defined? No, because it only has Electro defined. So it doesn't. It shouldn't need it. It shouldn't need it defined. Now why the fuck did Pyro just now not work? It has Pyro. Let me double check the config ID. Oh, I hadn't updated that config ID, I think. Wait, Hydro. Oh, I need to update all. I need to double check all these config IDs. Hold on, let me drag this to the second monitor real quick. Alright, Electro is the top one. Check. Dendro is this one. Check. Okay, well, it follows a sequential number. So, Hydro should be 33. Yes. Pyro should be 34. Yes. Cryo should be 35. Yes. Animo should be 36. Yes. And Geo 37? Yep, okay, that's all correct now. Okay. Let's go. Anefa, Bina, Lauma, Chilonan.
Is it time to go?
Right. So, Electro, check, Pyro. Overload, boom, works. Electro, check, Animo. Electro Swirl, very nice. Electro is on. Geo. Geo just now did not apply. Hold on, I wanna quickly use Overload to get rid of it. A melt works. Okay, Geo didn't do anything. Is that a bug somewhere? Grant element. Okay, I am granting Geo on tab ID 7. Geo Aura is tab ID 7, so it is being granted. Hey, let's log it. Let's just see what happens. Let's log everything. Keep that on the side. Go back in. That seems to be the only one not working currently.
Allow me to lend you some moonlight.
Geo Aura, Grant Element took effect. Yep, it's set this variable to Geo. Good. Now use the skill. Player boss control took effect. It did go Geo, and it did apply the status. Okay. So the status did successfully apply, but it seemingly has not actually applied the element to the boss, because the problem is the Geo Aura doesn't exist. Like, I'm assuming the Animo... Wait, no, but Animo does exist. So it's a problem with the Geo status. Oh, did I not... Hold on. Is it a bug in the status? Did I not set the status up correctly? Geo. Oh, I set that to 0. That's where the issue is. The potency of the elemental application was 0. That'll do it. Alright, let's try that again. Want Columbina, Lauma, Anefa, Shilonan.
Even when darkness falls.
Right. Electro. Apply. Geo. Okay. Crystallize does not properly apply, by the looks of it. What if we now apply Hydro to it? I'm gonna fucking lose it. Why? Why are you like this? Okay, and that just... Okay, no, that only cleared... Okay, now it cleared Vaporize. Okay. So Geo just straight up does not work with anything? We cannot trigger any crystallize reactions? Am I seeing that right? Like if we have Geo Aura applied and then we apply any other element, it does not crystallize. Nope. Okay, so crystallize is just straight up not usable. Right. Okay, so that's all Electro ones. Let's check. Dendro, Hydro, we checked. Let's check Burning. Burning does trigger. Cool. We need to wait for that to stop now. I don't know how long Burning is meant to last. Let's just retry. So, that's burning, check. Dendro doesn't have any other applications, actually. We've already tested Dendro Electro, we've tested Dendro Hydro, we've tested Dendro Pyro. Alright, next up, Hydro. Apply Hydro and Pyro. Vaporize. Works. Cool. Hydro Electro, we've noticed, does not work. So... okay. But Hydro Pyro does. What about Freeze? Yep, Frozen does trigger. It doesn't actually freeze the enemy, but Frozen does trigger. Okay, what about Hydro Animo? That swirls completely fine. What about Hydro Geo? Oh no, of course that's not gonna work. Okay. Right. So, does this trigger Lunar Bloom, actually? It doesn't! It doesn't! It doesn't trigger Lunar Bloom! That's amazing! Because... that's what we need. We don't want that to Lunar Bloom, we just want it to bloom regularly. Okay, next up, Pyro. We want to check Pyro Cryo and Pyro Swirl. You know what? Let's make a... I'm gonna make a quick Google sheet. Give me a second, chat. Working reactions. Give me 1 second. Pyro, Animo, Dendro, Geo. Right. Apologies for the flashbang. Right, so Electro, quickly make this like, yeah, there we go. All of these do nothing. Naturally. Right, Electro Hydro is Electro charged. Electro Cryo is Superconduct. Electro Pyro is overloaded. Electro Swirl, Quicken, Electro Crystallize. Is Crystallize with 1 L or 2 L's? 1 L. Right. Hydro Electro is Electro charged. Why would you do that? Thank you. Hydro Cryo is freeze. Hydro Pyro is vaporize. Hydro Swirl, Bloom, Hydro Crystallize. Cryo Electro is Superconduct. Cryo Hydro is freeze. Cryo Pyro is melt. Cryo Animo is Cryo Swirl. This is non-applicable. Cryo Dendro doesn't have a reaction. And Cryo Geo is Cryo Crystallize. Pyro Electro overloaded. Pyro Hydro vaporize. Pyro Cryo is melt. Pyro Swirl burning. Pyro Crystallize. Electro Swirl. Hydro Swirl. Cryo Swirl. Pyro Swirl. And then these are nothing. Dendro Electro is Quicken. Dendro Hydro is Bloom. Dendro Cryo is nothing. Dendro Pyro is Burning. And you are both nothing. And then this is Electro, Crystallize, Hydro, Crystallize, Cryo, Crystallize, and Pyro, Crystallize, and you are nothing. Okay, and now we just want to add, insert checkbox, whether they work or not. Obviously removing these. And quickly, like... There we go. And I quickly just, I mean, it's okay. We're gonna have to tick both. Well, okay. This is first elemental application. This is second elemental application. We do need to test them both ways. Right. So let's go down the list. Let's go down the list. Right. Apply Electro. And then apply Hydro. This does not work. And we need to try it both ways. So also apply Hydro first, and then Electro. Okay, so both of these certifiably do not work. They don't work either way. Let me actually make that like a light green. Or light red, actually. They don't work. Yeah. Alright, next up. We need to retry the stage. Open my sheet back up. Right. Next up, we apply Electro first, and then Cryo. Superconduct. Boom. So, Electro, and then Cryo works. What if we do Cryo first, and then Electro? Superconduct. Electro, then Cryo. That works. Cool. Alright, let's do Electro, and then Pyro. Overloaded. Check. Let's do Pyro, and then Electro. Also overloaded. Works completely fine. Cool. Next, Electro, then Animo. Electro, Animo. Electro Swirl, check. I would like to get rid of this. I said get rid. Oh, come on. Okay, retry. We have to find a way to clear, like, all elemental effects off of an enemy. Right. Electro and then Dendro. Quicken. Check. What if we do Dendro first? Oh, wait, fuck, hold on. We need Animo first, then Electro. Yep, that still triggers Swirl. Okay. I want Dendro first. Dendro, then Electro. Quicken. That works just fine. Right, and then lastly, we have the crystallized ones to check, which I'm pretty sure what the answer to this is gonna be, but if we apply Electro and then Geo, does not work. And if we apply Geo first, that did just trigger Lunar Charge just now. if we apply Geo first, and then Electro, also does not work. Okay. Right, next let's try Hydro. Apply Hydro first, and then Cryo. Frozen. What if we apply Cryo first, and then Hydro? Frozen. Right. Hydro, then Pyro. Hydro, Pyro. Vaporize. Beautiful. Right. Hydro is on. Let's quickly just try Anemo. Swirl. Let's do, Pyro first, then Hydro. Vaporize. Cool. Let's do Hydro, then Dendro. Or, Anemo, then Hydro. Anemo, then Hydro. Yep, Swirl. Right. Hydro is on, and then Dendro. Bloom. Right, now we need to test the crystallizes, which... Or we need to test Dendro first, then Hydro. Dendro first, then Hydro. Bloom. Right, let's quickly just try the Geos again. Hydro first, then Geo. Nope, does not work. Pretty sure the other one won't either, but Geo first, then Hydro. Nope, does not work. Okay, can we, like, get this fucking foreboding music out of here real quick? Fuck yeah, let's do this one. Right, what's next? Cryo, then Pyro. Melt. Check. Right, Pyro and then Cryo. Also melt. Right. Cryo, then Anemo. That's Geo. Anemo. Right? Yep, that does work. Oops. I accidentally triggered Frozen. Alright, so what do we have next? Cryo, then Anemo. Or, Anemo, then Cryo. Anemo, Cryo. Swirl. Right. Cryo, then Geo. Nope. I'm just gonna assume the crystallizes don't work. I'm not gonna test Pyro crystallize. It's not gonna fucking work. Right, we have Pyro, then Anemo. Swirl. We need, Anemo, then Pyro. Anemo. Pyro. Yep, that swirls. Oops. Pyro is already on, then Dendro for burning. Yep, that burns. Right, and then we just have Dendro first, Pyro second to test. Dendro first, then Pyro, burning. Alright. That is our list. Here's our list of elements that work and elements that don't. Let me quickly just, like... There we go. And then let's Um... Alright, this is gonna take a moment. I can only, like, exclusively copy formatting, right? Or, like, exclusively paste formatting. That's a thing I can do, right? Like, if I copy this, I can right-click, paste special, formatting only. Well, sure. I can do that. It also pastes format elements Control Alt V. All right. I can change the colors. Just quickly set all of you to, yep, reset all of you. Then set you to, let's just go hard black for these because they just don't exist. Oops. Right, these reactions don't exist. And then let's set this to light red. Control Alt V. Right. So these are all of the reactions that are triggerable. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, okay. There's duplicates here. So, superconduct, overload, electros real quick. Yeah, we just check everything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 possible reactions that are triggerable. Yeah. There's 12 possible triggerable reactions. Most elements can trigger 4. With the exception of Dendro, which only has 3, and Pyro, which has 5. But all other elements can trigger 4. So that's like a pretty good, like, Is there an element that we could take out that would give all reactions only 3? If we take Animo out, then Pyro would still have 4. Pyro would still have Overload, Vaporize, Melt, Burning. But then we'd have 5 rooms. If we were to eliminate Animo real quick, if we were to eliminate Animo and eliminate Animo, yeah, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 possible reactions. Superconduct, Overloaded, Quicken, Freeze, Vaporize, Bloom, Melt, and Burning. Each element would have 3 possible reactions with the exception of Pyro, which would have 4. That's like a pretty good balancing act, I would say. Because then you have 5 side rooms, you're gonna need 2 of the 5. Which means there's gonna be 8 possible combinations. Is 8 possible combinations enough to not feel brute forcible? I feel like it is, right? I feel like 8 is enough to, like, not feel brute forcible. Because adding Animo back in would just add 4 extra reactions. It would make it 12, but all 4 of those reactions would be Animos. Yeah, if we hide Dendro from the list, then every reaction would have 3. Or no, because Electro would only have Superconduct and Overloaded, because Electrocharge doesn't work. If Electrocharged worked, then hiding Electro would be the strat, or hiding Dendro would be the strat. But Electrocharge doesn't work. But obviously the players don't need to know that. Well, yeah, here's the thing. The players don't need to know that electrocharge doesn't work. So for all they know, every reaction has 4 possibilities. Or every element, apart from Cryo, has 4. And Dendro also has 3, actually. So yeah, for all they know, electrocharge works. So for all the players know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 possibilities. I feel like 9 different options is pretty good balance. That doesn't feel brute forceable to me. Yeah, that's fine. That's workable to me. So now we obviously need to monitor when those reactions happen on the enemy, right? And then remove its status when the correct reaction happens. Right? So what we do on the enemy is we're going to create a list, a string list of possible reactions. It's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Superconduct. Overloaded. Quicken. Freeze. Vaporize. Bloom. Melt. Burning. And then we need a string of required reaction, which is going to be empty. We're going to create a new node graph. That's going to be boss reaction logic. And when entity is created, it needs to set custom. We need to set the required reaction variable of self. We need to get a custom variable. We need to get the list. We need to get possible reactions, which is going to be a string list. Where are you at, string list? String list. We're gonna get random. We're gonna get a random... oh, right, get corresponding value from list, right? Get corresponding value from list, ID random integer. Get random integer between 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Between 0 and 7. And then set that. Right, so now it'll set one of its reactions to required reaction every time. Now, when elemental reaction event occurs, we have elemental reaction type, enumerations equal, Can we branch this? No. No, we can only set a num equal. And what does this take? Elemental reaction type. Yeah, okay. So we can't, like, convert this into, like, a string or something. Oh, it's also called frozen, not freeze. Okay, we should change that. It's called frozen, not freeze. Yeah, overloaded, vaporized, burning, wet, bloom, melt, frozen, electrocharged, superconduct. Catalyze, aggravate. Oh, right, quicken is called catalyze, right? Yeah, it is. Internally, quicken is called catalyze. There we go. Okay, well, I guess the way that we do this, right? We create an AND gate. a logical AND operation. And the other thing that we do is also an equals. Not an enum equal this time, but if we're gonna get a custom variable here. That custom variable is gonna be required reaction. Right? If the required reaction is equal to, oh, it's set to integers for some reason. You're not integers, you're a string. So are you, string. If overloaded, is it overloaded? I've set it to overloaded, okay. So yeah, now this will result in, if the reaction is overloaded and if the required reaction is overloaded, then make the boss damageable. So what we're effectively going to need to do is we're just going to need to make a... Hold on. What would be better here? Do we want to add these all to a list? What would be the best way of doing this? Because we could just do this for every reaction. I wish we could, like, loop on this or something, dude. Wish we could do anything with this enumeration. But that's literally, like, the only enum node that exists. There's a couple, there's a lot of different ones, but, like... Yeah. What is gameplay mode? Test play, room play, match play. Really? Like, would it be fastest to add these all to a list? No, it would be better to just do this, right? Like, just pump this in here, and if yes, we send signal of boss vulnerable, and if not, we repeat this whole song and dance again. Can we not even, like, save this to a custom variable? No. We can't. God, that's so ass, dude. Yeah, like, we literally just copy this whole song and dance over. And just put this here. But now instead of having it be overloaded, we put you in there again. Instead of having it be overload, we have it vaporize. Right? And we repeat the whole song and dance again. And we gotta drag this all the way over. And now instead of vaporize, it's burning. Right? This is so ass. This is such an ass way to code this, but I legitimately cannot think of a better way to do this. Like, this is the way to do this. Now we just need to drag you over here every time. I could have zoomed out further, in fairness. So now... we've done this. Wet is not one of them. We do bloom. I'm blooming! Okay, we can zoom out pretty far. There we go. Right, so we've done bloom. Next up is melt. Oh, come on. There you go. Attach. Right, that's melt. Now, next up is frozen. How many have we gotten so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of what? 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So we need 3 more. There we go. Connect. Right, we did frozen. Electrocharge doesn't work. Superconduct. Right. Connect that in. So we had superconduct. We are eliminating swirl. We're not doing any swirl reactions or crystallize. Wait, am I missing any? Overload, vaporize, burning. Bloom, melt, frozen. Superconduct. Catalyze. That all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is all. Okay. So, what I'm quickly gonna do now is print string, and quickly get the required reaction variable, just so that I can, like, see it. Right. And then open the log. And then test. We need to overwrite and save this prefab, and we need to actually attach the fucking node graph. What am I doing? Boss reaction logic. Overwrite save. Cool. Let's also quickly... boss reaction logic. Let me log the entire node graph. Nefa, Bina, Lauma, Shalonen.
Will we be gone long?
Okay, so it's just logged bloom. So this boss, not damageable. If we now trigger a reaction, let's first trigger a random reaction. Let's do cryo and then pyro. Melt. That didn't trigger any logic. That didn't trigger this. Do we need to have the boss on the monitor elemental effect status? Is that what we need? Bloom. Okay, hold on. Dendro. Hydro.
Yeah.
Do we need to have the monitor elemental effect status on the boss? I would not be shocked if we do. So let's effect details. Monitor elemental reactions of self. Monitor elemental reaction type. Overloaded, vaporize, burning, bloom, melt, frozen, superconduct, and catalyze. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Save that. It would make sense if we need to actually have the monitor status on.
Follow me. And back.
Right, what does it print? Overloaded. So, okay, so we want to trigger overloaded. So now if I were to trigger not overloaded, so if I were to go electro and then cryo. Superconduct. Okay, it did trigger. It did trigger. And it goes through the logic. And as you can see, it makes it through all the way to the end, and not a single time does it activate. Right? So that's good. So now, if we trigger overloaded on it, if I go electro and then pyro. Oh, I took damage! Yes! Nice! Alright, alright. That works, that fully works. That's our main system. That's our main mechanic, like, functional. Like, we can make the boss damageable now. That's so cool. Fuck yeah, dude. Okay. Well, that's some insanely good prototyping. Fucking hello. Alright, fuck, now what? That went a lot faster than I thought it would have. Yeah, I mean, I don't... I guess now we have to, like, prototype the side rooms, right? Where the player gets this. I wish we could, like, modify these custom buttons. If we could, like, modify the icons. That would, like, be... That would be fucking incredible. If we could multiply the icons. Yeah, multiplying the icons would, or if we could change out the icons, that would be like ideal. But I don't think that's a thing that we can do. So we just need to give it like a general button that seems to make sense. No, so none of the arrows. I don't think any of these would. No. I think we just go for, like, one of these. Like, that makes the most sense to me. Also, we want to hide you when... Or we want to just hide when no usage is left. Or initial visibility off. Can we give this, like... a text as well? This is really cool. Now we need to start thinking from like a design standpoint. So and also, so far, we can do this on any enemy. So far, like, yes, this is a Ruin Guard, but so far we can do this on any enemy. Because we haven't set any custom attacks yet. So this currently is still possible on whatever enemy we put it on. Okay. I think I might need to take this one to the drawing board for a little bit and just mess around with it. Because obviously right now I'm still only just by myself too. Ideally, we want... Okay, hold on. Let me grab like a paint or something. Can I draw on a Miro board? Can I draw on this? Yes, I can. Okay. Right, pen. Give me like a white pen. Cool. So, okay. So here's the idea, right? We want a central arena. Right? Let's, okay, no, we're gonna do this with, like, nope, I don't want templates. Stickers, emojis, GIFs. Shapes. Right. We have this arena. Can we change the border color? Yes, we can. Right. We have our arena here, right? In this arena, I kind of want to model it a little bit after the arena of a specific raid boss in Destiny. We create another shape here. This right here is the enemy zone. The enemy is gonna be within this zone right here. And this here on the side, players can walk themselves freely, so to speak. What I kind of want... Oh wait, no, that's an arrow. What I kind of want is the following, right? Let's put the boss in the center. This right here is the boss. Can I make it like an even circle? How do I do that? There we go. That's an even circle. So this is the boss right here. Well, let's fill this up as well. Can we fill it? Is that an option? Set color and opacity. There we go. So this right here is the boss, right? And the boss can roam around this zone. Now, what I would probably want to do is have a, let's make this a tiny bit smaller. Have, two areas. We want another square. We don't want this to be filled. We want this to be... Just make it blue real quick, just for ease of use. We want this first one to be right in this area, and then we want another one to be... Oh, wait. There we go. Right, and the second one, just make it, like, green. I don't know. So... The skills should become usable when the player is in one of these two areas. Let's put some text elements on. So this right here is boss. This is the boss right there. This center is boss movement or boss combat area. Right? This here in the center is the boss combat area. This over here is elemental application 1. And this over here is elemental application 2. So standing in one of these zones is what allows players to use the skill and override the element on that half of the room. So what I'm quickly doing is change this border to be like a bit more prominent blue, change this border to be like a bit more prominent green, and then make another frame. And give this no border, but... And then move this to the back. Arrange. Send to back. Can I, like, change the opacity? Yes. Arrange. Send to back. Right? Okay. So, the boss is roaming around this middle area. Player needs to be here to apply an element, and to override the element on the left side of the room, here to override an element on the right side of the room. Then, how many did we have? We had 5 available elements, right? Yeah, Hydro, Cryo, Pyro, Dendro. Or Electro, Hydro, Cryo, Pyro, Dendro. Geo, we can hide you as well. We don't need you. There we go. So yeah, we have 5 available elements, so we need 5 available side rooms. So the best way to do that would probably be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? 2 rooms here diagonal, 1 down, 1 left, 1 right. That would make the most sense. Or should we make all of the side rooms like up here, so you kind of need to cross through the boss's area every time? No. We want to make it nice and quick. All right. So we want to make a couple of hallways. Will it be combat-like? Yes. I do intend for it to have a good amount of combat. So yeah, we want none of this. We just want a little white area that attaches here to the center, and have this as like a little hallway. We do the same thing here on this side. Can we rotate you? Is that a thing we can do? Yes. We'll hallway there. I want to rotate you like on a nice 45-degree angle. That's good enough. Rotate you a little bit more. There we go. And then rotate you a little bit further. Right. And then we want just 5 bigger rooms. Preferably like just square rooms. Hold on. There we go. Right. So this would be kind of the map of the arena. And then, like, let's say that this is the Pyro room. This is the Hydro room. This is the Electro room. This is the Animo room. I don't really have a nice... Wait, Animo room. I want to make this, like, slightly... Yeah, there we go. That's Hydro. And then this is Cryo. Right? This would be, like, the layout of the arena. I'd probably put Pyro in the center, just because that's technically the one that you're gonna have to use the most. The player obviously doesn't know that, but just for, like, ease, I'm probably gonna put that one there. There we go. So this is the arena idea. So this would be the Electro room. This would be the Hydro room. This would be the Animo room. It doesn't need to be nice and symmetrical. Pyro room. And lastly, Cryo room. So this would kind of be the layout of the arena. Okay, this is actually pissing me off now. Is this your first time making a game in Miliastra? No, I have created 2 of the current top 10 games in Miliastra. I'm one of the more successful Miliastra creators. This is not my first time. What? Yeah, hold on. I can show you. If we exit out back to the Miliastra lobby. And we go to popular Miliastra Wonderlands, and we go to monthly popular. Tavad, Damage Tester, and Cozy Cookie Clicker, 3rd and 4th place. These are both mine. I've made both of these. To prove that I have. Here they are. America, right? They're up on all servers. Cozy Cookie Clicker has only really done well on America, but those 2 games, both of them, both Cozy Cookie and Tavad Damage Tester, are up on all servers. And this will be too. Right. Where were we? Yes. Okay. I'm almost thinking to, like, expand the boss arena just to here and just do this. Make this the boss combat area and just extend this up. Right? What I'll do... Imagine this also getting in the top 10. It won't, and that's okay, because this is a multiplayer thing, and multiplayer things automatically do worse. That is a thing that I am well prepared for. So, like, it won't, but that's okay. There we go. And then quickly just, like, send it back. Send it back. Right. I quickly want to change these colors, actually. I just make it yellow or something. I don't know. To be fair, we can... Oh, oops. Let me quickly... Yeah, we can delete you. And we can delete you, too. Make you quickly, like, a color that we don't already have, so, like, orange. There we go. So, this is how this idea is gonna work. Players spawn. Honestly, like, players probably spawn in a little spawn room up here, and then, yeah, that'll probably, like, I'd probably have, like, the spawn area of the players be up here. Let's make that real quick, actually. And this is going to be a safe room. Player spawn room. There we go. Main boss arena. Okay. So, the players spawn up here in the spawn room. Once they're ready to go, they move into the main arena. Obviously, it closes the spawn door. And then the boss spawns in. They're probably going to want to do something. I'm going to want them to do something in the main arena. I'm not quite sure what yet, but I'm going to want them to do something. For the boss to reveal what its reaction weakness is. And let's say that its reaction weakness is Electro Swirl. What players will then have to do is players are going to have to navigate into the Electro Room, where they're going to kill a bunch of enemies. I'm going to make sure that the Electro Room also... The way that we're going to get around players just killing all enemies, like, very quickly, and there being no combat challenge, is I'm going to have, like, attacks coming from places that the players can't hit. Like, I'm going to have turrets in the room. There are no weekly bosses. No, I wish there were. We don't have access to very many enemies, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm gonna have, like, turrets, and, like, maybe in the, like, Electro Room, there'll be, like shockwaves and, like, thunder strikes that players will need to dodge as they do things. We can make, like, a custom little challenge, basically. The coolest thing would be to make a custom little challenge for each room that the players will have to complete. So, for example, the Electro one might be, like, dodging a bunch of lightning strikes. The Hydro one might be, I mean, okay, we can't let the players swim underwater. I wish we could. I wish that we had, like, the fontaine, like, swimming, things in Miliastra, but we don't. Pyro room could be to, like, blow a bunch of things up. Like, there might be, like, a bunch of respawning explosive barrels that players can blow shit up with. Animo room might be a gliding challenge. Like, through, like, past wind currents and whatnot. And then the cryo room, I don't know. That's something that we can figure out. I don't want them all to just be parkour, right? I want some of them to be like a combat challenge, some of them to be a movement challenge, some of them to be like a dodging challenge. But regardless, they go into these side rooms, and then once they obtain an element, they go back and they change the element on one of the sides of the arena. And that converts that entire side of the arena to that element. Then, you know, there's still another element left. If they were in a team of people, what they can do is they can send 2 people into one room, 2 people into the second room, and get them both at the same time. Obviously, that's a possibility if they want to, like, go fast. And then once they obtain the second element, they bring it back, they activate that side of the room, and once both sides are active, it'll cause that reaction on the boss, and the boss will go immune for like 20 seconds, a progress bar will appear at the top of the screen, probably not 20 seconds, probably a little bit longer than that, and they can damage the boss, and then they either kill it, and the fight ends, or the boss goes immune again, and they repeat the process until the boss dies. We could also have it be multiple phases, where in phase 2, like, they might need 2 reactions instead of just 1. But probably not. I want to keep it relatively, like, simple. But this is the idea. And I honestly, legitimately think this is sick as fuck. I think this is kind of sick as fuck. If this all works, and it works as well as I hope it will. Also, you guys are not centered, are you? No, now you are. There we go. Now you're centered. Yeah, I think this is such a cool fucking idea. And then it just comes down to, like, figuring out special challenges for these side rooms that are enjoyable to do. Huh. Yeah, I think this fucks, actually. I think this fucks. I think this is a super cool idea. and I mean, we've tested the main gimmick. The main gimmick, which is like the actually applying the elements to the enemy, that works. And we can like, I already know that we can have other logic activate completely fine and normally. Like, there's no issues with any of the other logic that we want, like VFX activations, lighting activations, based on, well, like, what element you've dunked in somewhere. That's fully possible, and I know that that's possible, because I've done that. I've done that stuff before, right? So I am fully aware of the fact that that's possible. So then we just need to start prototyping challenges for these side rooms. And make sure that it flows nicely, and then do, like, the actual combat design, too. Because, okay, here's what I'm thinking, chat. Right? We want the boss to be threatening. I think Magukenki is genuinely, like, the right boss to go for here. I think, because Magukenki already uses 2 elements. Like, it uses, like, Cryo Swirl, right? It uses Cryo and Animo. So it already uses 2 elements. I don't think we'll be able to change, like, where we won't, because Magukenki isn't a complex creation, so we won't be able to change what attacks it does. It would have been so cool, though, if we could, because then Magukenki's, like, the perfect boss for it. If Magukenki has, like, 2 attacks, one that's Pyro, one that's Electro, and that way it communicates to the players, you need Pyro and Electro. I do want, by the way, that if the players trigger an incorrect reaction, it does just kill them. If the players dunk, like, an incorrect reaction in, it does just, like, kill them or, like, wipe. That is what I want, because I want it to be, like... It needs to be a puzzle, right? It needs to be a combat puzzle. Obviously, you guys now are aware of how this works, but... I want the players who go into this not knowing how it works to figure it out on their own. If that makes sense. Right, I think we've created a really, really neat encounter concept. And now it just comes down to, like, making, like, little mechanics for these, side rooms. Fuck yeah. Right, chat. I think that means I'm gonna call my stream here for the day. And I'm gonna, like, worry about this stuff again, next time, when we are, I'm gonna be working on this more behind the scenes. I don't know how much I'm gonna be working on this on stream, because obviously I want some of it to be a surprise, but I think this is neat as fuck. I'm so excited to continue building and balancing this. So, yeah, thank y'all so much for being here and being the emotional support. I'm planning for Tuesday to kind of be my my consistent streaming days, by the way, because Tuesday is the days that I have days off from working working my my talent management job. Mondays and Tuesdays are my days off. Mondays I'm doing other stuff. But I'm planning for Tuesday to kind of be a consistent streaming day. So maybe next week we'll do another, like, Genshin soundtrack review, or, like, analysis. We'll grab the second Natlan album, because I do know that a lot of people did want to see that. So maybe we'll do that next week. We'll grab the second Natlan album. And then, yeah, we'll be on our merry way. So thank you all so much for sticking around. I hope you all have a great, great rest of your week. I will see you all next week. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Link is in the description or in the Twitch, like, about section. If you want to stay updated on what I do, or, like, Twitter, you know the places, you know the socials. And then I will see you all around next week, all right? Bye-bye.